And yeah, it was
He's got a Jeep. He's got a Jeep Liberty.
yeah, but it was so icy. It was like glass underneath the snow.
Yeah,
And I mean, anybody who lived in this area, like to the cross section of the country, probably got
which
some
is in
exciting
this
weather.
area. If you guys don't know, this area for her is Champaign, Illinois.
Well, and
So
it's
central,
central
south
part
central
of
Illinois.
Illinois, but the whole
Right.
state, Indiana got it. I mean, the north of us, like Wisconsin and Michigan, got it. We
The
all kind
storm
of,
was really bad.
yeah.
Southern Illinois, mid-southern Illinois.
Well, and like
When you
Tennessee
said,
got ice and stuff, and Kentucky had some serious ice damage that took out
yeah,
power
yeah,
lines and things. So, I mean, if you're down there, I'm like hoping that you have power, because that was kind of
exactly.
bad.
Yeah, when you said Mike didn't have to go to work, but he had, but in his mind he had to go to work.
Well,
Same damn thing happened to me several years ago when I was working. I was on my way to work on a blizzard snowstorm, and I would have been one of only a handful of people there to start with because they had given everybody a snow day.
right.
But I was a big shop manager. I got to be there. I'm this and that and the other
It's
thing.
how
I
we're
got stuck in the
trained in
snow.
this society, though, is don't miss work under any
I
circumstance.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what it is. It's a guy thing. I don't know, but I
No, I was like that
I
too.
you know
It's
I
just
got
it's a
stuck in the
certain type of
snow.
work ethic.
I had to have someone come and get me, and because I got stuck in the snow, I had to take a half of PTO day. Had I just stayed home, they'd have given me a snow day for full pay.
Oh man, that's a bummer thing in the system there.
You
But
believe that? Had I just stayed home, they'd have paid me.
he has so many sick days because he's been the only one there. So
Yeah, he doesn't take sick days.
yeah, he
Right.
doesn't take sick days.
Yeah.
So
So
anyway,
you
but
got your
it was
car back.
well, it snowed so much too that I mean, it wouldn't have mattered because nobody came and plowed our parking lots or our little side
Right.
street things. So
You wouldn't have needed a car
we
anyway,
wouldn't have had a
right?
place to put it. I mean, seriously, it's not. I mean, I'm laughing now, but it just was like a snowpocalypse, and they have to take care of the major stuff first. There was like a
Right.
towing van, so we
Right.
got the Jeep back
Right.
Saturday. So Wednesday to
When you
Saturday, it was out on the road all by itself. But,
when you live in the Midwest,
yeah,
you kind of know that now and then this shit's going to happen, and you're just going to get stuck for a bit. I
we can
mean, it
have
just
a
happens.
serious extreme weather. I mean, whether it be very cold, very hot, we can get a lot of rain all of a sudden, tornadoes. I mean, fuck it. We like Mike was sitting there all weekend going, "Why do we live here?" And I'm trying to figure that out. So,
There's many of us asking ourselves that same
right,
question,
right.
isn't there? So
Definitely.
I Monday for me,
Hmm.
I actually had a dentist appointment, which is
Right,
great for normal people, but terrifying for me because
right.
it's a problem for me. But anyway, it was the denture appointment. So we went in and we had a consultation. We talked. They looked, they poked. They're like, okay, yeah, we can do this.
Right.
So I'm going to get new teeth,
Woohoo!
and we're waiting on the the current COVID numbers to drop because it's going to be
Mm,
done in the hospital in
right,
Chicago.
right.
So we're just waiting for someone to say, okay, we can do elective surgeries now, and then I start the process and get this thing done. So
Right, and
that
then
was my
you're
Monday.
actually right. You're going to be in the hospital doing it, so you'll be able to be put under better too, and just get it all handled.
Well, that's the whole point. It's put an IV in me, and I'll
Right,
wake up with new teeth, and in a couple hours I'm going home. It's outpatient. So
right,
I'm going to come home that day with teeth.
right.
Um, you know, with my anxiety and PTSD and fear of dentists, there's no way I can sit there and have that be awake while someone does that to me. So we're going to
Totally.
get this done once and for all, and it's the ball is rolling. Holly
Good.
has been bugging me for a long time to get stuff done, and I am, and it
Well, and
feels good.
honestly, in the beginning of the pandemic, I had a dental thing that finally I was made aware was pretty serious. And I mean, I
I
was
remember.
struggling to get, there was no tests back then. So I was struggling to like this chain of like isolation and checking my temperature every day with them and all this crap
I
to get in there. Yeah, it was like
I remember.
randomly not quite emergency dental surgery. It was really starting to hurt though. So, I mean, my bad for putting it off so long, but it didn't seem serious till it got like it
Well,
does.
and
So,
let's be honest, the COVID thing has interrupted elective surgeries. You know,
for a
I
lot of
say
people.
elective, but I'd say
Well, it's
elective, but it's
funny
like
when you hear elective,
non-emergency.
it's not like you're getting your
You think
boobs
it's
done so
cosmetic?
you can be on
Yeah, yeah.
Baywatch. You
It
are trying to
it
get like
it
a burst, a thing fixed in a joint, or a surgery on a
yeah.
repair on a shoulder, or I mean, yeah, or a lot
A
of
knee
other,
replacement,
yeah,
a
right,
joint replacement,
right.
back surgeries. A lot of these things that they don't need to
I
do it to
never
keep you
thought
from
of them
dying.
as elective though. So I mean, when
Well,
I heard
yeah,
that, I was like,
right.
well, of course people aren't getting boob
I
jobs
know.
right now, but
They're not getting pap smears
right,
and
right.
normal regular medical care because of it. So it's, hopefully it'll loosen up soon and we'll be able to get some stuff
Right.
done. But um, that's in process, and I'm happy that that's in process. This has been
Hell, I
a
still have to
long
get my
thing.
after 40 mammogram for the first time. So I'll just, eventually.
Okay.
Right. Well, I mean,
Thanks.
it slows that
No, I get
down.
it.
Yeah.
No,
It
any of that stuff.
That's a thing that the
My
insurance
wife,
company told me I have to do. So, it's
you know what? Serena is, she's going to yell at me. I think she's 51. Okay. I heard her over my earbuds. She is 51. And you're supposed to have a colonoscopy at 50. That's when they start them.
right, right,
And so at 51, okay, now you need to do this because COVID is backing up. Her
right,
appointment's in May. In May. So, yes, it needs to be done, but it's
right,
not like a couple of months here or there. It's going to make a big difference, especially for
right,
that.
right,
So
right.
it's just annoying in that regard.
Of
So
course.
anyway, I've had two, so I don't care anymore about colonoscopies because I'm that
Well,
damn old.
I'm not worried about it, but I do know I just wanted to get that baseline one in. And I mean, I've put it off because pandemic. It's just pointless to go do
Yeah,
it right now. Just,
I understand.
yeah,
I understand. I understand. But
yeah.
hopefully we'll be able to get back to normal and get some of that stuff going again.
Actually, I
Um,
see my doctor tomorrow to get my card renewed. So,
Sweet.
yeah, so I get to do
Cool.
that. I mean,
Good.
so that's kind of, so I'm not like completely foregoing the doctor. And I don't think, hopefully, no one has to do that wherever you are, hopefully. But, I'm glad
I'll
that,
have to renew mine in March. The end of
mhm.
March is when I expire.
Yeah, me too. So,
So
or
we're getting
end
there.
of this month, yeah, end of February. By the way, it is February and it is 2022.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's it's the 7th of February on 2022.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
what?
oh my God, Tam Zach's in the house. Hey, Tammy, how are you? I
Hey.
haven't seen Tam in so long.
Oh.
Gosh, it's nice to see you guys.
Um,
Um, so
we got some people joining us. Yay! I actually put this out on
I
Instagram, and maybe not in a sensible
oh
way because
yeah,
I haven't ever posted for my phone ever. But but it's
hopefully,
out there.
yeah. I
So
mean, um, yeah. I mean, we used to broadcast strictly on Facebook Live,
right,
and because of the platform difficulties, we've decided to try and go to YouTube, which is a bit more of an open environment for this
right,
type of content.
right.
Um, but we're kind of hoping and praying for our people to follow us to YouTube because it's another click to watch on YouTube, whereas you just watch on Facebook on your phone.
It
So
was another equipment upgrade. Well, you can watch YouTube on
it
your
was
phone.
it was another equipment upgrade, and you can watch. In fact, because we're on YouTube, many of the smart TVs today. Yes, Holly's right. You can watch us on YouTube on your phone. You
And
can
you can
watch us on
broadcast your
YouTube on your
phone onto your
iPad.
TV.
Many TVs now have a YouTube app. My TV has a YouTube app. One of our moderators, Alice, is watching on her television with a keyboard. So
Right,
with all of this new technology, there are benefits for us being on YouTube.
definitely.
So that's kind of why we were here. Um, the one thing I wanted to kind of transition, because the last thing I said is I hope that we can get things back to normal again.
Mhm.
And we have an event. Well, there is an event coming up.
Right.
Harken us back to earlier days when we could gather in public, but there's an event coming up this coming Saturday, right?
Right, actually, exactly. I'm putting his little logo up here so it'll appear. One of our partners, Justin from Prairie State Genetics, is actually going to be at his. This one's called Lighting It Up here. I put the little graphic up from that. So he's going to be
I
at
know.
Grow Up
I'm waiting to see
Gardening
it
in
on
Pekin.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it takes about a minute.
yeah, but it's actually at Grow Up Gardening in Pekin. So I've got some graphics for that actually.
Well, here, while we wait for the graphics to come up, let me give you the details, guys. It's Saturday 2/12. This coming Saturday is from 1 until 5 p.m. And it is at the Grow Up Gardening location at 229 Court Street, Pekin, Illinois. And this is the Prairie State Genetics official seed drop. And that's the event. That's what the graphic that Holly's going to drop in there so you can see. Justin will be there. Justin will be there. His team will be there. You will be able to ask questions. There is going to be a sale promotion on his seeds at that event.
Right.
I will tell you that Grow Up Gardening is our newest partner. And so if you tell them that you're a member of MCDIY, Medical Cannabis DIY, then you get 10% off your purchase. That does exclude lights. Grow lights are such a tight marketing thing that it's hard for anyone to give discounts on lights. So most companies, all of our partners generally don't give you discounts on lights.
Honestly, that's a lot like the tool. There's some things like that in tools where you just can't discount them. They're like nationwide. They're kind of a price controlled industry, and that's you know what?
We have other partners that are like that.
You get with a gardening group that like knows and cares about cannabis, and you can have like so many nutrient deficiency questions answered. You can have a lot of help picking out stuff without going overboard. If you just express that, look, I'm not converting my whole basement into like a mega grow metropolis. I'm just wanting to have a couple plants in a tent. You know, they work with you, so that would be a great place to get some advice too and stuff. And they're going to have this event, so you can check them out.
Yeah, advice, supplies, tips. If you're new to growing, I see the graphic popping up now.
Yeah.
If you're new to growing, browse around our YouTube channel, because there are three home grow classes by our partner Brian Marks, who runs Aroma Grow in Wheeling. They just came up with another brand new store location. Yeah. I'm going to mention it on a future show because I don't remember it right now. But Brian just opened the second location. So we have grow classes on the YouTube channel as well.
It's actually a 3-part series.
Yep.
So with interviews and questions answered after.
To final product.
Right.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's what I love about, I learned so much from editing that and putting it out there for people, because I had to see all of it. And my grow has gotten a lot better. So if that's any kind of testimony to why to check it out.
Listen,
that's on our channel here on YouTube.
Highly support the growing stores that are helping people learn to grow their own medicine. I saw a post today for someone that shouted out to a particular company, a store in St. Charles, that we're not affiliated with. We don't have any connection with them, so I'm not going to promote them, but raving about how helpful they were with her starting her home grow. So go to these stores, go to our partners and get discounts, but go to these stores and get help to learn to grow your own medicine, because that's how you save money.
Oh, geez, yeah.
I mean, that is key.
Right.
So the other thing that I wanted to bring up from Justin before we get to our other topic tonight, was he's come up with a new line of product, a new seed line.
And that's actually what he's releasing on this. I have a graphic.
That is.
Well, here I want to show the menu, and we can talk about it.
Yeah, please.
So I got the menu up there, and because you sent it to me.
Justin, and us, we have been partners for probably 2 years, I want to say. Whenever growing became legal in Illinois, shortly after that, I think we connected with Justin.
Right.
So Justin is a seed geneticist.
Right.
He's not just a guy that grows cannabis, produces seeds, and sells them to people. He is a scientist. He's very, very skilled at creating these strains and hybrids bred specifically for specific medical purposes in mind.
Right.
Justin and I had quite a long conversation today. And this new seed line, when the menu pops up on the graphic, it's called the Prairie Shaman
Cornfield Shaman CBD line.
There it is. Cornfield Shaman CBD line. And he bred this line specifically for our people, with our people in mind, because of the culture we have of patient helping patients learn to grow and produce and make your own medicine. His heart is 100% in everything that he does. We have an interview with Justin on our YouTube channel right now. And after the live stream, please feel free to go watch it.
Right.
We will do another interview with him between now and 420 because I think we're going to do something. Go ahead.
His event. Oh, excuse me. His event is this Saturday, so yeah, we'll have some reports on how it went and hopefully some pictures if some of our members could go.
Yeah, if you're anywhere near Pekin, by all means, Pekin it's 2.5 hours from Chicago. It's about a half hour from Champaign, correct?
Right.
Okay.
45 minutes.
So that gives you an idea. 45 minutes from Champaign, Illinois.
Right.
So it's in central Illinois, guys.
Putting the events. Yeah. This is not in up north in Chicago. Yeah. So
okay.
I see the menu now going up. Yeah.
Oh, good. So if you're within driving distance, go up and say hi. Go introduce yourself to Justin. Ask him any questions you want to ask him. Meet him and talk about his product. Talk about what he does and his connection with the Midwest and the medical cannabis users here. The highest compliment that I can pay Justin is that he is CannaFam.
Definitely.
He's 100% CannaFam. We love him. We do anything for him.
I dropped the link to the event in the chat down there.
I see it.
Yep.
I see it. Yep, I see it. He's CannaFam. We love Justin.
Definitely.
We will have another interview with him in the very near future, sometime between now and 420.
Right. Well,
I wonder what that means.
Season is coming.
I wonder what Papa's hinting at now.
The unofficial holiday season for those of us who use this medically. It's always so busy.
We do two giveaways a year. We try and do giveaways on our anniversary, which is in December, which we did in December.
Kind of Christmas time then too. So.
And we do giveaways at 420.
Right.
So stay tuned. Like the commercial. So see you soon then.
Woo!
That was a good hit from your mighty. Yeah. What do you got in that thing?
That is actually my home grow, but maybe it's a little dry.
Oh, cool.
We need to check that, I guess. So.
Or you just got a really good hit, right?
Yeah, that's actually Justin's landfill lemon.
Nice.
Right. And I always kind of like it because it's more energizing in the evening. So this is one of the things I'll pick. So that's Diane just said, yeah, it's in Pekin. So totally, that's like super exciting because she's close to there. So definitely go check it out. Justin's like such a cool dude to meet. He will tell you anything about his genetics and his whole reason why he put them together. I mean, he really, I don't want to say this like facetiously. He has a story for these things because he really does appreciate that. So, shout out
Yeah,
to him.
he's highest recommendation for
Yeah,
Justin. He's a
yeah,
good dude. He's a great partner. If you get a chance to go over there and meet him, please go do that. You will thank us both for the
right.
opportunity to meet the
Oh, and
maker of your
Jimmy,
beautiful, the
Jimmy
breeder.
should be there, and he is also a
Jimmy should
wealth of
also be
knowledge.
there. Yeah,
And I've always enjoyed
yep,
hanging out with Jimmy. So,
yep. The whole crew is just
so go see
wonderful.
him. Right,
Sweetheart guys. I love them to pieces.
right,
We will do more with them in the future as the weather improves
right,
and as COVID subsides. We will return to doing events and we will be in the
right.
public space together again. I
Actually,
promise
that's
you
why we
that, you guys.
decided to talk about this tonight, which I think is good because we haven't had an event in a while.
Right. And
Yeah,
I'm not comfortable driving 2.5 hours. Um,
but they
Certainly
are
not.
starting to hopefully come to. Yeah,
If
hopefully.
you are, if you are, by all means, please go and hang
Right,
out
right.
and see everybody. I think if you look at the flyer closely,
Uh-huh.
I thought I saw something about it actually being a consumption event on site.
Oh, that could be. Um,
So check the listing, check the ad, just to be safe. I thought I saw that. I could be mistaken.
well, it's
Uh,
always good to ask too ahead of time, but I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
any event Holly and I are at are consumption events, one way or
yeah.
another. But we're going to stay home this time. But by all means, if you have a chance to go, if you're close, go down, check them
Oh my
out,
God.
and buy a bunch of stuff and have
They
time with
are
Canna family.
never
You'll enjoy
not
it.
consumption events.
Never, not
Never.
for you and I.
No,
And
no.
public events,
Even
public
the ones
events.
with
You and I
even the
have
ones with our
something that
lawmakers are nuts.
with the Illinois legislature, yeah, nearby.
All right, anyway.
That's no bullshit. We did that, guys.
Mhm.
She's not kidding. We did that. Um, so it's 8:25. Are we ready to move to the main event, the actual
Our little teaching
math
thing.
stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, we see math questions in the group all the time. I
all
mean,
the time.
and a lot of us too were talking about seeds and people are growing and you don't always know. I just kind of wanted to touch on this. I see a lot of people like, I got some stuff, it's like mid-grade, this is how it turned out, this is how I grew it, whatever. Help me figure it out. And I mean, I want to say one thing, you can never really be sure, so always check slowly, just like you learned with your first edible. Start slow and, low and see how you react because you don't want to have a bad time.
So let me break this. Let me put a fork in the road right now
Right,
because I want you to kind of help us go navigate this together.
right,
Um, I'm going to put a fork in the road right now and say one fork says you've got dispensary product with a label and
right,
you know the data. Okay.
right, right.
So the other fork in the road is something where you don't know. So, Holly, when you don't know, what would you say is some guesstimates or averages for, hey, I got this flower. I don't know what it is.
Well, a lot of us won't know, and we now have homegrown in Illinois, so we get these questions a lot more because a lot of our members are in Illinois. And here's what I have kind of determined a few just like simple notes. Don't worry, there's not a test. It's a lot of trim can be between 5 and 10 percent. So use those numbers like as 100 milligrams per gram and start high. Think that you made them
Okay,
at
slow
that
down.
point.
So
Yeah,
if you're saying it's 10%, then every gram has 100
100
milligrams of
milligrams.
THCA. If
Right,
you're saying that it's 7%, then every gram will have 70 milligrams
right,
THCA. I just
Right.
want to get this basic building block stuff out of the way.
Or a potential of about um, 63 milligrams of THC if you decarb it. So you could literally take your trim and possibly put it on like a firecracker or like a simple recipe, and that could be like a whole edible that would be all you want. This will help
Right.
you just kind of estimate like how wild do I gotta go here, Also remember that you do not have to make a gummy the exact dose of the gummy from a dispensary. You can make to where you have to eat 2 gummies. You can make them a little lighter and just eat 2.
Well,
It
that's,
doesn't have
I
to
mean,
be like a
that,
capsule from a pharmacy.
right.
Right.
That's the second real reason to start DIYing your medicine is
God,
to
isn't it?
customize the dose you want.
Well,
I'm
and
going
aren't
to
we
show
reminded
you
all the
guys.
time?
Yeah,
Stuff falls
I'm
off
going
the
to show
market
you
and
guys.
disappears from dispensaries, and you might want to make it
Yeah,
yourself.
I'm going to show you a dosage here in a little bit that's off the charts.
Right.
But it just, and I'm only going to show it to you because so you know you can do it.
Right.
You can do it yourself. That's the plus of DIY. You can make something in the exact potency you want within a few parameters. The one parameter would be you bought it from a dispensary and you know
Right.
what you've got a label, you know what's in it.
Right.
The other would be, well, we're going to guesstimate trim at 10 or 7,
Right.
and we're going to guesstimate home grow at 15.
12 to 15, maybe 20 if you're getting good at it. 25 if you like have it dialed in. And you can get like your good bud tested.
Yes.
Yes.
One of our partners, brew and grow in Homer Glen.
Homer Glen. Yeah.
They offer testing, and they do offer a discount for our members to get testing. So
Just
if
tell
you
them
can
you're with
take
us.
your home grow there, tell them you're a member, take a bud. Don't
Right.
grind it. Take a bud into
Right.
them in a baggie. They'll grind it. They'll put it in the machine. They'll test it. I think it's $10, and they'll tell you what it comes out at. Now you know what it is.
Right. But you're not going to want to test all your trims. So I'm giving you these general numbers to definitely say that start estimating, and then kind
That's
of whatever I'm
exactly
saying
right.
is the highest, like 5 to 10%. Just assume it's 10% and dose that accordingly, and then test it. It just might end up that you have to eat 2 cookies, not 1.
Correct.
So
Correct. Can you
yeah.
throw up the generic
Yes.
graphic, the first graphic?
All right. I'm putting that up right now here.
With no numbers, and I'll wait until it comes up before I start talking about it. But
it's actually up here, so they'll be able to see it. They're hearing it live, so
I know they are. So Holly and I, I'm just trying to connect the dots, you guys. So when you see this graphic, you can write it down. There you go.
Right.
So when she says it's 7%, then it's 70 milligrams of THCA per gram of cannabis used.
Right.
It's the same math regardless of the percentage. You just add it up.
Right.
So you've got X number of grams per.
So let's say right here is 10 grams, so, or 10%. You're assuming that your trim is super awesome, and it's 10%. So that is 100 grams or milligrams of THCA per gram. 10% of that would be 100 milligrams.
Right.
So let's say that you ended up having 10 grams of that. You'd have 1,000 total grams of THCA possible.
Right.
Now, if you decarb it, you'll have 877. And if you infuse it with coconut oil, you basically have it like just under 800, depending on what kind of coconut oil, because it can be up to 89% or 890.
So, guys, feel free to screenshot this, pause this, copy it, whatever you got to do, because that's your basic math. So when you start with flour, this is your math to get there. Right. Now, whether you do butter, oil, or even Everclear, Everclear is 90 to 95. I now use 95 as my factor, but
Right.
I've got some 200% ethanol over here that my next batch I'll be using 99 as my factor.
Right. Right. Because this is serious
So
Everclear.
exactly.
Right.
So once you've done your decarb loss and your loss through whatever infusion or extraction method, you have a total number of THCA milligrams. That's what total represents. Total THC. I know, I see you.
All right. Oh.
So
Oh,
we'll
this
wait
is
on
the
this
other
one,
piece of
Holly.
math. Yeah, yeah. I made this. So, a
Yeah.
lot of times people do not know. I'm gonna get you out of here. This.
No, you can stay there for a minute if you want. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
I mean, I can still put it on the screen. It's still gonna be on the screen. But,
We're good. We're good. So that gives you your basic math structure to go from flour. You've got your decarb loss, and then you've got a loss for Everclear,
right.
butter, coconut oil, MCT, whatever. Now, that number, if you're going to put it in cookies, well, how many cookies are you going to make? That's your
Right.
divisor.
Well, and that's
Okay.
what you used MCT down here at 89%, basically. Regular coconut oil is 82, which,
Yep.
yeah, is, get this back online here.
So once you have your total cannabinoids, your total THC number, now you're going to divide it by doses. How are you going to dose it? If it's
Right.
cookies, that's one thing. If it's brownies, that's another thing. If it's capsules, it's just another math factor. That's all
Right.
it is at this point. Now, here's the twist that really confuses people is when you take that number and you add it to oil, and then how do I dose it then? So
Right.
now it becomes milligrams per milliliter.
Right. So
Right?
basically, what fits in a syringe? Let me. I have one right here. I actually used. Actually, here's a good one. This is basically a milliliter syringe. A tiny little
Yep.
dude
That's a
right
1 milliliter syringe.
and this will hold 100 milligrams
Right.
or
1 milliliter.
1 milliliter. Yeah. So basically, this is what RSO comes in. Something like this, or a smaller little glass cylinder. Sometimes it just depends. But this is kind of the size that comes along, and it's usually concentrated somewhere between 400, depending on if there's CBD and THC in it too. But let's just say it's like you're getting a high dose THC product because you want to make like the maximum amount of gummies or cookies or
Now,
something. It'll be like upwards of 6, 7, 800 milligrams.
okay. Dispensary bought syringe of
Yes,
Pico.
yes.
Thank you.
Right. This would be something like a similar device that it would come in, and this is the size,
Yeah.
and you could get like 800 milligrams. And here's the
Yes.
part that like a lot of people don't realize when they pay $30 for a pack of gummies is it's only 100 milligrams. And some of these I have bought from the dispensary are over 800 milligrams, and they cost the same as 2 packs of gummies. So technically, I'm saving 4 times
Exactly.
because I'm paying $60 for this, or I'm paying $60 for a quarter of the amount of THC that's possible. And I got to pick the flavor of the gummy because I made it
Well,
myself.
now now we're going back to the number one reason to DIY is to save money.
Right, right. But that's, I mean,
Number
that was
two
just a
was
side note of, I mean, the
I
potency
know,
of
and
this
I
really
love it.
is equal to a lot of dispensary edibles. And people don't realize because they see it, it's just like this little harmless syringe. It's tiny. What could this do? But it is full of medicine. So, I
Well,
mean, that's
let me
you
just
got to think of the size when you're thinking of these doses sometimes.
exactly. So she's just now describing a $60 to $80 product in most dispensaries that is a 1 milligram syringe of a cannabis oil product, whether they call it FICO or RSO or
Right.
something else. It's a cannabis oil product that is 1,000 milligrams that will be 600 to 800 milligrams of THC
We
within
had
that
some that were
1,000.
reliable 800 all the time. Some Mag Land raced reliably at our
It
dispensary
depends on
constantly.
it depends on
And
what you buy. Right.
right,
Now,
and
backing up the cart a bit,
hmm
when we're starting with flour and we make that FICO ourselves,
right,
it helps to know the starting number of the flour so we know what we've got in that syringe.
right, right, right.
Can you show the tincture math?
Yeah, the mega tincture.
Yeah, the mega tincture.
Yeah, I'm putting it up there right now. So, you know what it says. So I'm just Keef
I
is
do.
usually a higher potency flour product. Just
Right.
saying this starting
So
out as you look at these numbers.
what you're going to see is my mega tincture that I made with Keef. And someone gave me the Keef and they said, do something with this. And I
Right,
did. So that's the deal. So Holly and I talked that we kind of figured that Keef was 45 to 50% THC.
right,
THC. Yeah. Anyway, so I used 47% as my number. So I did 470 milligrams times 28.1 grams because that's how much Keef I had.
right.
I ended up with 13,207 milligrams of THC.
And you made that
I
into a quick wash Everclear tincture?
I did,
Yeah,
and then once I made it into the Everclear tincture, then I put it in a hot water bath, and
right,
I evaporated it down to 50 milliliters.
right. Which is 50 of these little syringes, which we're looking at the math right now. So, but
But I
basically
did it
it's
as a
50 of
tincture,
these. Right. Oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Remember
so
that.
50 milliliters of tincture, guys,
Right.
because of the math, came out at 264 milligrams per milliliter.
I'm going
It was
to
insane.
transition back to us to show what that kind of looks like in a tincture bottle. So basically, this is 30 milliliters, so it wouldn't even be two full ones of these. And
There's one and a
basically,
half of those.
this dropper is basically two and a half dispensary products.
It the guy I made it for said make it strong, and I did on
Right.
purpose. When I put it in coffee, it floated around the top and stuck to the cup.
I remember
It
that.
was
Yeah.
it was it was nearly,
hmm
and I'm being serious, guys. It was nearly FICO. I've
Right.
seen FICO at 300 milligrams per milliliter. Haven't
Right.
you?
Oh yeah.
I've seen
Oh yeah.
homemade FICO at 300. So this was 264. So
Right.
it had like a martini's amount of alcohol left in it, like vermouth.
Well, and when I don't filter my CBD that I'm just going to put in capsules, I when I'm making FICO out of it, I tend to get like 450, 500 milligrams per
Right.
milliliter. And I know it's going to capsules anyway, so I just kind of wash it. It's
Right.
good, but that is basically like twice. That's a little splash of alcohol on top of your FICO,
So
basically.
I know your math brain, and I know this is not going to be a challenge
Right.
for you. So I wanted to do this just for everyone listening, just for the contrast purposes. So
Sure.
I make my tincture with an ounce of flour. That's let's call it 18%
Okay.
THCA. So I
Sure.
use 28 grams.
hmm
I do a quick wash,
Right.
and
With
I
Everclear.
make about I 6 ounces, six times 30, 180 milliliters of output of tincture.
Okay.
What's my dosage per milliliter?
Per ounce, per milliliter. Wait, how much tincture?
Um,
480 milliliters.
Let me think here. I get 7
It's
bottles at
108.
140
It's like 108 or 114
per what?
per milliliter. So basically one syringe.
No, of tincture?
I think so. Wait, what was the how many milliliters of tincture?
Let's go back. We'll do it again slow because
I'll
I think
write the
that's a little too
numbers
high.
down so
Okay.
I don't forget them. Okay, so
So 28 grams
yeah, an ounce.
at 18%
Yeah,
THCA.
right.
And I'm making 7 ounces of tincture, which
Okay,
is 7 times 3 is
210.
210,
Right.
210 milliliters.
So it's like 230 milligrams per milliliter. 228.
Is it really that high?
Yeah. Hold on.
Holy fuck. Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
I must have been doing something wrong back in the day.
It'd be like, yeah, 4,800 of it. Yeah, and then you divide the 210 milli. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Totally. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, we're filtering better. I mean, seriously, to all the people who are hearing this that are super intimidated by the numbers that we throw out, when we started, we never made FICO, and we've gotten
Oh
really
God,
into
no.
that
Oh
because of
no.
its
Oh
versatility.
no. No,
And
and I'll be honest. Let me be clear so everyone understands. Um, we've been doing this 4 years.
mhm,
And about 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, one of the members reached out and said, if I gave you trim, would you be willing to make stuff out of it and do videos to teach people how?
right.
And then you could give me the whatever you make with it. And I said, absolutely.
Because it gives us
So
free reign to do stuff and practice on things. I'm always happy
we
to,
can
yeah.
experiment. Yeah, I can experiment on stuff that I don't pay for, and
Mhm,
then I just give it back to the person that donated it.
right.
So that's where the keef comes from. That's where a lot of this stuff comes from. And it is what it is. No one's selling anything.
Right.
It is, it is what it is. So he
Well, and
wanted
like
to
I
help
do it with
people.
a lot of
I wanted
hemp,
to help
and I'm
people.
able to share with my family, like, hey, try this, you know, because I've been looking at CBD prices at the grocery store, and oh my God, I can see why my family wouldn't just pick it up off the shelf and start, unless I got them started on it. So,
Listen, I do not want to do this, but I make capsules, or my granddaughter helps me make capsules every couple of months for my sister out of state who's got
right.
bad arthritis in her hands, and the anti-inflammatory terpene capsules help her pain. And so I make those capsules for my sister and I ship them out of state.
I
I
make some
mean,
for my parents.
it's hemp, CBD, and CBG.
Right.
There's
Right.
nothing, they're not psychoactive. It's simply pain relief only, but I love my sister. I've made them for my brother. I don't want to be in business selling that stuff, but I'm happy to teach everyone how to make them themselves.
Right.
So that's where
I
we are,
started
right?
making them for my mother-in-law. I wish my brother would take them. I think they would help some of his stress
I
levels.
know,
So, it's like,
I know.
but
I was just thinking, I was waxing philosophical the other day and realizing, how empowering it is to be able to craft and make your own medicine.
oh, that's what I do all the time here. This is not, this is like, it's always amazing to
I
like
just,
cross, to reverse engineer. I've said this a lot today because sometimes I pick up a product from the dispensary and I'm like, how can I make this? And like, I see if I can make it. And it's, yeah.
we got in trouble for that today, you guys. Um, I approved the post. You guys know we catch hell from
Is
Facebook
that what
and
happened?
censorship. So I approved the post today for a chocolate bar that came from New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Now, many of you that have been with us a long time know that I have a brain injury, and one of the things I struggle with is to process data in real time. That's my excuse, and I'm fucking sticking to it. When I went back and I looked at the actual photo, it was a chocolate bar made with psilocybin.
Right.
That was probably not necessarily sold at a dispensary in New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah. We're in trouble.
Okay, but anyway, I approved the picture today of a chocolate bar, and it got taken down, and I caught hell from Facebook. So no psilocybin chocolate pictures anymore, guys. Damn it.
Well, I mean, if there's a chocolate bar and we don't know.
It was no one. No, no.
Right, right.
My bad. It was clearly on the labels and psilocybin.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, they were legit busting that one, but oh well, shit happens.
Whew.
Anyway, gosh, I hope I know that the math thing is intimidating for people. I know people hate it. I hated it in high school, but I kind of had to figure out a way for me to understand what I was doing. And so I really tried to find a way to simplify it as best I could so that I could comprehend and retain it
Right.
and frankly, basically memorize it, which is what's happened.
Well, and I've adapted and in some ways to the fact that we do have homegrown now, so much of what I've grown has kind of been a mystery. And one of the things that I've devised is I have a few friends who take like one dispensary edible that might be 10 milligrams. And I literally set this up assuming I know the dose, and I have them try a few gummies that I make to be 10 milligrams, the highest dose I think they could possibly be. And I say, do these
Yeah,
feel like 10? And if they
yeah,
don't, I know that it's not quite as potent as the highest potency I assumed it to be. So without that being too
yeah,
confusing, a lot of times I just assume my trim is 10%, and I usually
yeah.
find out it's about 7.5 to 8. So,
You know what? I'm so glad you said that because I, you and I together assumed that the trim was 10. And when
right,
I went and it tested at 7.
right.
Now, I broke it up and it wasn't in bud form. And he said that will drop it down a point or two.
Well, that just tells you how accurate my guinea pigs are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Well, yeah,
I safely know now what I'm working with a lot of the times by testing it on one or two people who have a lower tolerance. This wouldn't work on me because I really need like 60 to kind of get that distinct, like I got to at least 60. And that's not going to tell me enough for people who might want a lower dose.
right,
And
right,
it's not going to give me real accurate numbers when I make like high potency things like
right,
my topicals. So,
right.
without this being overly intimidating, if you assume the thing on the high end, if you're thinking like my home grow's not the best, it's mid range, so I'm going to assume it's 18, and it might end up being 15, but I can just eat two gummies or cut the brownies a different shape or, to get more area. So,
Whatever works,
well, and
right?
like they recommend in every dispensary when you say I'm buying my first edible is just start slow, try a small
Yeah,
amount and give it time, and you will learn. You will start to feel it to where I don't really have to think too hard about what I'm doing anymore. Just get in
so
there and get your hands dirty a little bit.
I make ABV oil capsules. I've been making them for years since I learned how to do it.
Mhm.
Um, I take 6 every night,
Right.
and I take 2 chocolates made with
Right.
pico. Um, my wife will generally take 1 ABV pill, maybe 2 on the weekends because
Right.
she doesn't need to get up early and be sharp. So
Right.
for
Right.
someone without a tolerance like me, for someone without that,
Right.
1 to 2 is absolutely effective sleep aid.
Right.
I have chronic pain, so
Right.
I'm not an effective measure, and I have a tolerance from hell.
Well,
So
and
it
like
is what it
me,
is.
for example, I don't even do edibles all day, but I do take daily. I ingest like capsules with CBD and CBG in them. That's just like a vitamin
Yeah,
to me. And
yeah,
but I did make some chocolates the other day with some ABV, which is our already vaped bud,
Yep.
And maybe I could throw out a little bit about what's in that too, because you can
Yeah, do that.
often assume that the already vaped bud, and I have a jar of it right here, is about half the cannabinoids of the original bud, and it's already decarbed. But it's also chock full of the cannabinoid CBN, which is great for sleep. So um, I have kind of a bad
Back
angle
up.
of it,
There you go.
but
No, you got so close it
it looks like
disappeared.
coffee grounds, but it's basically like super vape bud, and some of the THC has even been converted to the downgraded CBN version. But that's the sleep cannabinoid. So it might not even taste all that great in edibles, but my God, I made some ABV out of this and some trim. So I'd say it was quite loaded with CBN. And then I put uh, some CBD in also in these chocolates, and I made them really minty so I wouldn't taste any of that. Because that's another tip. This does not,
Mint.
it does have the more
Mint.
burnt taste. Get a mint
Mint
in there.
is
Get a
a
peppermint.
godsend.
Get one of those Andes chocolates melts on top of it. Get some kind of mint to mask it. But oh my God, I was like, well, I can take one of these, or oh hell, I'll eat two because I broke one. And I was like wasted the rest of the day. I took a fucking 3 hour nap. Not expecting that at all. So they are definitely sleep meds. And these are way higher dose. I'm assuming they were 60 milligrams of THC for both of them, maybe full of CBN, and also the CBD just knocked me on my butt. So, but that's the benefit of making them at home. You don't have to eat three whole candy bars to get a good night's sleep. So,
Well, I want to do one more rabbit trail just
all right,
because you kind of threw it out there.
sure,
Holly talked about topicals here a bit ago,
yeah.
and I just want a shout out about the magic paint salve because um, with the cold snap and the weather change, I've had all kinds of pain and shit issues, and I'm constantly going to my wife, would you mind rubbing some shit on me? And the shit is always magic, Holly's magic paint salve. You know, that's because I'm just an asshole
This
anyway.
stuff is
So
my
can you rub some
gold.
shit on me? Can you rub some shit on me, honey? And she's like, yes, I can. And, you know, um, she did this the other day and she's like, God dang. She's like, I didn't even realize my hands were stiff and sore until after I rubbed this shit on your neck. And oh my God, magic is absolutely the right nomenclature for that
How long have
recipe.
I been pain free?
I was at the Aroma Grow event where you worked over Jimmy Mead with that shit, and he
I
would
was like,
rave for weeks on Facebook, like, "Oh my God, this is a miracle! I couldn't even."
well, sciatica pain's a bitch. I just pushed it into where it goes, and like you get the area warm enough, and it gets in your bloodstream there. I just put it on my
Oh,
feet after I get out of the shower, like when your skin's like ready to absorb all this stuff. And the only reason I use my feet is because there's veins on the top of your foot, and then I can put a sock over it so my dogs don't lick it. Because
yeah,
I
you
make it
don't
pretty
want them looking
potent,
at.
and I do that with a
Right.
lot of FICO. We get asked that a lot in the group, and seriously, to get it to the potency I want, I do have to add FICO, even though I do start with an infused coconut oil. And you don't even have to use
But
coconut oil; you can infuse other oils.
that's the plus. You can make any potency you want once you know
Right.
the basics and how to
And any
get there.
cannabinoid level you want. I'm
Yeah,
constantly
in any.
harvesting reclaims so that I can get CBN into my topicals, because I think CBN has
Yep,
been wonderful for my personal topical use. I can tell a
guys,
difference when I get more
please
reclaim in it.
search CBN in the group and
Oh,
search CBN on Google. And I'm telling you,
it's
the more they
CBN,
learn
the
about
sleep
CBN,
cannabinoid. I mean, seriously, that's
oh my
what it's
gosh,
called.
it's like I feel like an NBC PSA announcement here. The more you know,
But you gotta try it. Yeah.
the more the more you know about CBN, the more you're like, oh,
This, this,
I need to
this,
get,
this will
I
help you sleep.
need to do that.
Well, like the freaking advertising people, they get so excited about it, but it really does. So I might eat one of those chocolates
But there's
tonight. I have,
more.
right, wait. There's more. You'll feel amazing. I mean, well, how many people don't sleep well? Seriously.
Oh my God.
I mean, my
I
God.
I know.
I feel bad when I say like I finally got my shit together, but I did. I like retrained my whole sleep routine and it was a bitch, guys. It took years. And
I know.
it's hard to do and not everyone can with their life stresses and stuff. I'm privileged in that aspect. So, and my husband is
Maybe
so
we should.
jealous.
Yeah. Maybe we should
Yeah.
do a show for the subject of what do you do when you wake up in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep.
Oh God, yeah.
Some other time.
Episode ideas, guys. Throw them out there. So,
You know what? Yeah, thanks. If you guys got an idea for an episode
seriously,
of Live with the Admins, yeah, toss them in the comments because we're
yeah.
open. We'll talk about it for sure.
Well, seriously,
We
sometimes
are
we
at
just want to hear that you want to hear it. We forget what we didn't know.
yeah, yeah. We're at 8:58, so we have
Yeah,
to kind
yeah.
of bring this plane in and land this mofo. So
I
I'm going to
agree.
give
Plus,
you some last thoughts.
it'll run till 9 anyway because we're behind a little bit. Thanks, guys, for joining us on YouTube. Anyone who came in the last second when we threw this all out here on the public channels, welcome and join our group if you want to like really see. We do this all the time, and we can help you do it too.
Did did you drop a link to join in the group into the comments for YouTube?
Oh, I
Maybe.
can. I will right now.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
let's
since
see.
you just invited anybody watching, we should do that.
Right, right. I
Yeah,
mean, it is in our
we've
description
been
also.
we've been doing what we do for 4 years, but the YouTube is a 2021 edition. So, hey, hit the like button and subscribe. Please share with your friends. Is that what
You,
they say on YouTube
I think
now?
so. Like,
Hit the
like
like
and
button.
subscribe. We got playlists full of info. Join us every Monday.
We'll answer your questions in the comments. Just drop them in there. We'll
Actually, we
respond.
will too. If you come across this later because you saw it somewhere, we're totally responsive about. We're just used to answering these questions
Yeah.
all the time, and it's not like
So
because I'm not tired of the questions, but I'm just serious. Like I don't know how many times I just like randomly do math. So
it's all good. It's all good. Guys, it's 9 o'clock. We love you so much. We appreciate you hanging with us tonight, and we'll see you next Monday night. Bye for
thanks,
now.
guys.